Hi, my name is Dale McCluskey, and right now I got a board and train here, Buster. And when I'm doing Buster showed up. He's an aggressive dog situation, dog case. And so the goal here is to create a higher level of overtraining for Buster. So as I do this, as with Buster, the goal is to change out the foundation. So foundation of, with the other owner has been, projecting weakness and has been really kind of pegged as a follower of Buster. The whole goal here is to give her a boost and to change out the foundations in a way that's going to transition into Buster taking the lead role. So here you'll see, when you're doing this exercise, because the exercise I'm going to be doing here in a minute is to bring my dog out, Polly, who is a follower to me. I mean, when you do these type of exercises, it's important to understand that you don't want a dog interacting with another dog, because this is really like a socialization exercise. But you want to do this in a way that's going to, when your dog's ready for this. So, for example, it's a controlled exercise, which means even as I'm talking here, I'm still keeping authority or control over Buster. So, and Buster to this back and forth, but again, the whole thing is what you're doing is you're just putting authority over Buster's mind here. So right here, even right here, I'm getting a baseline going. I'm pushing up. Again, the leash is just a connection point, and then I'm going to interrupt. So we'll go bringing back in. So it's constantly bringing Buster's mind in through me. So again, this is mind and body. So what I'm establishing here is meaningful influence over the mind. So it's the unspoken language. I'm not talking. I'm not using commands, because the commands, when you're using commands, this is where all these ideas about learning get kind of lost to this role. People really they start to basically get sidetracked here. So here it's about doing these exercises when the dog's ready. So here in a second, so what you're going to see is you're going to see Polly come out, and Polly's a follower to me. That's important. So, but what I'm using is Polly as a bait, so to speak, but not really. I'm just using Polly to help tempt Buster's mind, because Buster's going to want to go over towards Polly. But it's important. It has to come through me as a follower. So I'm going to establish the foundation, so that, because I've already made Polly a follower. You're going to see that when she comes out here. And so my next goal is to keep, I want to keep Buster on the leash. I don't want Buster going over and objectifying me, which means the mind's leading me at that level where I'm not meaningful. I'm not part of this. So when you do this exercise, it's got to be the goal here is to create a follower framework. Okay, as you do this, and how you do this is you're going to use the leash to put influence over Buster's mind. So it's like, you see, every time I push here, you'll see Buster start to draw into me, and I'm going to give the leash a little bit of a flex. Now, when you talk about correction, it's not so much see beyond correction. This is about influence. So I'm targeting the mind. Okay, every time I'm bringing the mind under influence. So I'm creating this follower state. So that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing influence to bear, so to speak. So it's going to surround Polly. So yes, they will meet, but within this follower framework. Okay? So we'll get Jackson here to let Polly out. I'm going to take the camera here for a second. So Jackson, yeah. So Jackson's on his way to get Polly out. And so even as I'm doing this, you see Buster's looking a little bit. I'm flexing. And so, like I said, Polly will come out here. And immediately Polly's going to want to come towards Buster. But, again, it's got to come through me as a follower. All this dynamic's going to play out this way. So, you see, socialization exercise. Need to go around the other side and get her? Yep. Go through and get her. I guess the door's locked on the outside here. So, Jackson will be a minute. So here, the same thing. You see the leash technique here. So all it is the mind goes out. See, there's that flex. See what happens right there? The mind comes in. So it's the same thing. When I'm flexing here, see the mind comes in again. There's always a little slack here. Every time I give the leash a little bit of a a flex, then it's slack again. Right there, flex a little bit. See, I'm flexing. See, the mind comes back to me. So what it is mind separation. Here comes Jackson. So even anticipating that, you'll see Buster start to look towards. So the fixation levels and such, you want to. There's Polly. Here, Jackson, take the camera back. So Polly's starting to circle around me. So here, what I'm doing is, Polly wants to come in. You'll see here, Polly, a follower to me. You'll see Polly here is coming in, and so here it's important to get this level of control over the dog. And Polly, sorry, I love Polly, but again, it's got to come through strength. So here, Polly's there. Polly will go away a little bit. Now, here's what I'm doing: is Buster. I'm preparing Buster. I'm changing up the foundation. Gonna walk around, calm, doing her thing. She'll come in, because ultimately even Polly is going to know what I'm doing here, the whole intent here. So now I'll push. And so what I'm doing here is I'm working, this interplay is happening of the mind. Okay, I'm starting to create this framework. So what I'm telling Buster basically is I own Polly. I own Jackson. I own me. I mean, that's important, is I have to establish, meaningful insight. And I own me. And so even the whining, when the mind is ready or not ready for this, and I'll bring Buster ahead a little bit, put him back into push. And I'll push here even as Polly's coming in a little closer. I'm going to push while this is happening. Now, you have to be very careful when you do this exercise. You don't want to, if your dog's not ready for this, don't do it. I mean, you need a professional to do this. Some dogs will, if they're not ready for this, they will lash out. I mean, they'll bite you. I mean, the dogs, when you do this exercise, you have to know when the dog's ready. Polly, come. Come on in, Polly. See, Polly's coming into me. Coming Polly into me. And again, here you see the exercise here, how it's playing. As again, I'm pushing. Now, again, I'm working at Buster's state of mind, so I'm not going to let Buster come and sneak. Polly is fine. But see, Buster, what I'm telling is I own Polly. Okay, so I'm let Polly go out here again. So I'm going to intensify. Sometimes I have to bring greater intensity on the mind here. So I'm working off this interplay, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what you'll see, once you change the foundations out, you'll see the mind, the decision making of Buster is going to be in. Okay, it's going to change. The mind goes. So eventually, the goal is to not even have to use a leash. The leash, again, is just a connection point. So thanks very much for watching. I just want to give you an insight into this interplay, how this goes through the socialization part of it, and I'll give you just a little better idea as to how the foundation is created. Thanks very much.